In a world where words often fall short, some pictures speak volumes, capturing moments that transcend time and language. These powerful historical images don't just tell stories, they convey what words cannot express. From the raw emotions of war to the quiet strength of human resilience, each image is a snapshot of history that words could never fully describe. What do these images reveal about the human experience that words simply can't capture? Let's explore 30 historical pictures that communicate the unspeakable. Number 30. A silent sacrifice. On June 11, 1963, Tish Quang-Duc's self-immolation in the heart of Saigon became a symbol of profound sacrifice. Seated calmly in a busy intersection, the Buddhist monk set himself aflame to protest the harsh anti-Buddhist policies of South Vietnam's Catholic president, Ngo Dinh Diem. His action, captured in this haunting photo by Malcolm Browne, shocked the world. In the quiet moments before his death, Tish Quang-Duc's solemnity spoke louder than words ever could. He gave his life not just to fight injustice, but to awaken the world to the cost of silence. His act transcended borders, calling into question America's complicity in the South Vietnamese regime. Despite the emotional impact of the images, the protests failed to sway the U.S. stance on the war. Yet Tish Quang-Duc's sacrifice remains a touching reminder of the power of peaceful protest and the price of unyielding courage. Up next is an image that portrays the turmoil of a battlefield where chaos and sacrifice collide. Number 29. Silent Plea. This powerful April 1968 photograph, taken by Art Greenspon, captures a moment of raw anguish and brotherhood amidst the chaos of war. The first sergeant of A Company, 101st Airborne Division, guides a medevac helicopter through the dense jungle near Hue, where his men have suffered devastating losses during a 5-day patrol. Nearly half of the company was killed in a brutal firefight, and the survivors, exhausted and grief-stricken, waited 2 agonizing days for the chopper to arrive. As the sergeant raises his arms to signal the medevac, his gesture feels less like a command and more like a silent plea. This haunting image, which ran on the front page of the New York Times, encapsulates the overwhelming cost of a war that was increasingly seen as futile. Greenspon's photograph, nominated for a Pulitzer Prize, serves as a stark reminder of the sacrifices made during the deadliest year for American soldiers in Vietnam. Now let's turn attention to a campus protest that turned deadly, leaving a nation reeling from the cost of dissent. Number 28. The Sound of Silence. On May 4, 1970, a moment of tragedy unfolded on the Kent State University campus, where protesters, angered by President Nixon's decision to invade Cambodia, faced off against National Guard troops. What began as a peaceful demonstration quickly escalated when the guardsmen opened fire on the crowd, killing 4 students and injuring 9 others. Amid the chaos, student photographer John Philo captured a haunting image of 14-year-old Mary Ann Vecchio, her face twisted in grief as she cried out beside the body of Jeffrey Miller. This iconic photo, which earned Philo a Pulitzer Prize, symbolized the devastating human cost of war and division. The Kent State shootings shocked the nation, bringing the violence of the Vietnam War directly to American shores and igniting a broader conversation about the lengths to which the government would go to quell dissent. Up next is an image of despair that has become a testament to resilience. Number 27. The Terror of War. Nick Utt's 1972 Pulitzer Prize-winning photo, The Terror of War, captures a moment of unimaginable horror as children flee a napalm attack on their village. In the foreground, 9-year-old Kim Phuc, her body burned and clothes scorched off by the brutal weapon, leads the terrified escape. Her face is etched with pain and confusion, a stark representation of innocence shattered by war. The image is more than a powerful snapshot of suffering. It is a reminder of the terrible consequences of violence. Yet Kim Phuc, who survived, continued to spread a message of hope, forgiveness, and peace. Despite the cruelty she endured, she believed love and compassion would always triumph over the darkest forces. But can love truly overcome the barriers that divide us? Number 26. Bound by Love. A poignant photograph from 1888 captures the graves of a Catholic woman and her Protestant husband in the Netherlands, divided by a stone wall yet bound by love. The couple's final resting places reflect the era's deep religious divides, where even death couldn't fully unite those of different faiths. Despite this, their graves defy the barrier with a tender gesture, interlocked hands carved into the tombstones. This simple yet profound detail speaks volumes about their unshakable bond, a love that transcended societal expectations and earthly separation. The wall may represent the restrictions of their time, but the clasped hands symbolize the enduring strength of their union. Next, we have one photograph that captured both the depths of human suffering and the weight of the one who bore witness. Number 25. A Silent Witness. In 1993, Kevin Carter captured a photograph that shook the world. A starving Sudanese child, crumpled on the ground, with a vulture ominously waiting nearby. The image, taken during Sudan's devastating famine, was both a testament to Carter's eye for truth and a harrowing reflection of human suffering. Carter, a member of the Bang Bang Club, was no stranger to tragedy, yet this moment broke something within him. Advised not to touch famine victims due to disease, he spent agonizing minutes hoping the vulture would take flight, crafting the image that earned him a Pulitzer Prize. But with acclaim came unbearable criticism, as many condemned his inaction. Though research later suggested the child reached a feeding center, Carter's torment over that scene, and countless others, was impossible. In 1994, he ended his life, leaving behind a legacy tangled in courage, controversy, and the unrelenting burden of witnessing suffering too immense to bear. Now let's see how one man's silent stand stopped the march of tyranny in its tracks. Number 24. The Tank Man. On June 5, 1989, a single image captured the courage of one man and the spirit of defiance. Amid the aftermath of the Tiananmen Square massacre, photographer Jeff Widener of the Associated Press focused his lens on a striking moment from a 6th-floor balcony. A man, carrying 2 shopping bags, stepped into the path of a line of tanks rolling out of the plaza. Despite their attempts to maneuver around him, the man blocked their advance, briefly climbing atop one tank in silent protest. The tanks refrained from firing, and moments later, he was whisked away, his fate unknown. Widener's photo traveled the world, becoming an enduring symbol of resistance against oppression. The man's identity remains a mystery to this day, making his bravery a universal emblem of the human will to stand firm in the face of overwhelming power. Here's a single image that shook the world, capturing the human cost of a desperate journey. Number 23. Alan Kurdi. On a Turkish shore near Bodrum, the lifeless body of 3-year-old Alan Kurdi lay in quiet stillness, a heart-wrenching image of innocence lost. Dressed for a journey of hope, Alan's tiny form, washed ashore after a capsized boat, claimed his life. became a haunting emblem of the Syrian refugee crisis. His family, fleeing war and seeking safety, had already escaped Syria's violence, crossing into Turkey. Their attempt to reach Europe ended tragically within minutes, leaving Alan, his brother, and his mother among the countless lives lost in desperate migrations. Captured by Niloufer Demir, the photograph of Alan's lifeless body resonated across the globe, a silent scream demanding attention. The next photo is a glimpse into the devastating power of a moment that changed the world forever. Number 22. The mushroom cloud over Nagasaki. On August 9, 1945, the atomic bomb known as Fat Man unleashed unimaginable destruction on Nagasaki. The blast sent a towering 45,000-foot column of radioactive dust into the sky, a vivid plume of purple, red, and white that seemed alive, as described by Lieutenant Charles Levy, the bombardier. Struck by the force of the 20-kiloton explosion, Levy captured 16 images of the bomb's devastating power. The blast claimed an estimated 80,000 lives, marking one of humanity's darkest chapters. 6 days later, the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki forced Japan's surrender, bringing World War II to an end. While officials censored many images of the devastation, Levy's haunting photograph of the mushroom cloud circulated widely, shaping public perception. It celebrated the atomic age in the US, but for those beneath the cloud, it was a symbol of unparalleled loss, a reminder that victory often comes at an unfathomable cost. Now check out this single photograph that ignited debate and changed lives, both in its impact and its ethics. Number 21. The Fall on Marlborough Street. On July 22, 1975, Stanley Foreman captured a moment of heartbreak that changed more than fire safety codes. It challenged the ethics of photojournalism. Responding to a call about a fire on Marlborough Street, Foreman arrived to see Diana Bryant, who was 19 years old, and her 2-year-old goddaughter, Tiara Jones, stranded on a 5th-floor fire escape. As a firefighter attempted their rescue, the fire escape collapsed. Foreman's motor drive camera froze the horrifying descent. Bryant plunging to her death, her body shielding young Tiara, who survived. The photograph, awarded the Pulitzer Prize, sparked national reform in fire escape safety. But its emotional weight raised a difficult question. Should such tragedies be shown? For some, the image was too invasive. For others, it was a necessary catalyst for awareness. This next picture captures a rare, intimate moment that reveals a family caught between history and home. Number 20. Watching history unfold. In this intimate photo taken by Yoichi Okamoto, the Johnson family shares a quiet moment of reflection amidst a turbulent time. It's August 28, 1968, and President Lyndon B. Johnson and First Lady Lady Bird Johnson in bed at their Stonewall, Texas ranch, watching coverage of the anti-war protests rocking the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Surrounding them are their children, Lucy Johnson Nugent, Tom Johnson, and Linda Johnson Robb, each absorbed in the historic scene unfolding on the screen. Okamoto, the first White House photographer, captures a rare, personal glimpse of the family, caught between the weight of history and the comfort of home. In this candid moment, the Johnsons face the stark reality of a nation divided, their family united in the quiet tension of the times. The photo tells not just a political story, but one of family, resilience, and quiet strength. But this next photo is sure to leave you speechless. Number 19. the starving child of Biafra. During the brief existence of the Federal Republic of Biafra, from 1967 to 1970, the world came face to face with the devastating human toll of war through stark photographs of mass starvation and disease. Among these, Don McCullen's haunting image of a 9-year-old albino child stood out, a snapshot of unimaginable suffering. The child, gaunt and frail, bore the double burden of starvation and social ostracism. McCullen described the boy's plight as beyond description, revealing not only the tragedy of famine, but the cruelty of isolation. The photo, along with others, moved hearts across the globe, pressuring governments into action and prompting humanitarian airlifts of food and medicine. Though the war ended, the suffering in Biafra left a legacy. Images like McCullen's inspired the creation of organizations like Doctors Without Borders, ensuring that future victims of war and disaster would not be forgotten. Look closely at the next image, where the raw pain of war demands the world's attention and sparks a shift in history. Number 18. Bloody Saturday. On August 28, 1937, the chaos of war was captured in a single, searing image. Amid the carnage of a Japanese bombing at Shanghai's South Station, photographer H.S. Wong found a crying Chinese baby, his mother dead, nearby. Wong snapped the photo before running to help, but the infant's father arrived first to carry him away. The haunting image, known as Bloody Saturday, was published worldwide, reaching millions through newspapers, newsreels, and Life magazine. For many, the child's anguish symbolized the horrors inflicted on China by Japan's relentless aggression. The photograph transcended cultural barriers, forcing the world to confront the human cost of imperialism. More than a record of tragedy, the image became a catalyst for change. It spurred formal protests from the US, Britain, and France, and began shifting Western sentiment toward involvement in the conflicts brewing in Asia, a prelude to the global turmoil that would soon follow. Now witness the moment one soldier's bold leap changed history. This is a story you won't want to miss. Number 17. The Leap for Freedom. In August 1961, East German border guard Hans Conrad Schumann made a split-second decision that reverberated worldwide. Just days after East Germany erected a barbed wire barrier to stem the exodus to the west, Schumann stood guard until the calls of a West Berlin crowd stirred something within him. Captured in a split second by AP photographer Peter Leibing, Schumann leaped over the sharp wires, leaving behind his rifle and the oppressive regime he served. The photo, a perfect image of defiance and hope, graced front pages across the globe. It immortalized Schumann as the first East German soldier to escape and became a powerful symbol of freedom during the Cold War. While Schumann found refuge in the West, the unintended weight of his symbolic act haunted him for decades. Next, prepare to witness a moment in history that forever changed medicine, and a wife's chilling encounter with her own mortality. Number 16. Anna Röntgen's hand. In 1895, Wilhelm Röntgen captured an image that would transform medicine forever: the bones of his wife, Anna Bertha's hand. Using mysterious electromagnetic waves he called X-rays, Wilhelm unveiled what had always been hidden beneath the skin. This shadowy glimpse of Anna's hand, complete with her wedding ring, was both eerie and groundbreaking. Anna's reaction was chilling. "I have seen my death," she remarked upon viewing the image. For millions, however, X-rays became a symbol of life, allowing doctors to diagnose and treat injuries and illnesses with unprecedented precision. Wilhelm's discovery won him the first ever Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901, solidifying the X-ray's place in medical history. Though Anna may not have shared the world's enthusiasm for the photograph, her skeletal portrait remains a testament to human curiosity and the power of science to illuminate the unseen. If this next picture doesn't stir something deep inside, it's hard to say what will. Number 15. Emmett Till's open casket. In August 1955, Emmett Till's murder revealed the unrelenting cruelty of American racism. At 14, the Chicago teenager visited Mississippi and was abducted, beaten, and lynched by Roy Bryant and J.W. Millam. His crime? Allegedly whistling at a white woman, Carolyn Bryant. A jury of white men swiftly acquitted the killers, underscoring a culture of impunity. When Emmett's body was found in the Tallahatchie River, mutilated and bound by barbed wire, his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, refused to let the world look away. She demanded an open casket, saying, "Let the people see what I've seen." The harrowing funeral photograph of Mamie, standing over her son's mangled body, published in Jet magazine, ignited a national reckoning. Tens of thousands mourned in person, while millions confronted the image of unthinkable brutality. Mamie's courage made Emmett's death a catalyst for the civil rights movement, proving that truth, no matter how painful, could spark change. Now let's talk about a time when photography became a tool for manipulation. Number 14. The lens of power. Heinrich Hoffmann's camera became one of the Nazis' most potent weapons. A close confidant of Hitler, Hoffmann crafted visuals that transformed rallies into spectacles, embedding the regime's ideology into every frame. His photograph of the 1934 Buckeberg Harvest Festival captures the sinister choreography. Hitler stands at the center, flanked by saluting troops in a carefully staged display of dominance and devotion. Hoffmann's lens churned out over 2 million images, feeding a propaganda machine that glorified Aryan ideals and Hitler's cult of personality. Alongside stark banners and Leni Riefenstahl's films, these images captivated a nation battered by war, reparations, and economic despair. To many, they offered a vision of revival. To the world, they heralded destruction. Hoffmann's work underscores photography's immense power, not just to document, but to manipulate. His images rallied a broken Germany, but their legacy is a chilling reminder of the dangers of spectacle weaponized. Amidst the horror, a single image of a young boy caught in a moment of terror became a powerful symbol of the Holocaust's unbearable cost. Number 13. The Boy of Warsaw. The image of a young boy with his hands raised in terror, captured during the liquidation of the Warsaw Ghetto, remains one of the Holocaust's most harrowing symbols. This child, surrounded by armed Nazi soldiers, was among hundreds of thousands confined within the ghetto's brutal walls, enduring starvation and despair. By April 1943, whispers of mass extermination ignited a desperate resistance. The Jewish fighters, armed with scant resources, stood against overwhelming Nazi forces. Their courage, however, met with tanks and flamethrowers, led to the ghetto's fiery destruction. This photograph, preserved in the Stroop Report, a chilling document of Nazi triumph, transcended its creator's intent. Presented at the Nuremberg trials, it exposed the Holocaust's atrocities and helped bring SS General Stroop to justice. The boy's identity remains unknown, yet his image endures, embodying the countless lives lost and the devastating human cost of unchecked hatred. In the next powerful image, one of history's most iconic figures transforms a simple act into a symbol of defiance and independence. Number 12. The spinning icon. Captured during a time of great personal and national struggle, this image of Mohandas Gandhi spinning thread on his charkha symbolizes far more than just a simple act of daily life. Imprisoned by the British in 1932, Gandhi's use of the portable spinning wheel evolved from a personal source of comfort into a powerful symbol of resistance. As he encouraged Indians to reject British-made goods and create their own homespun cloth, the charkha became a rallying cry for self-reliance and independence. Photographer Margaret Bourke-White's iconic image of Gandhi reading the news by his charkha was taken for an article that never ran but would later appear as part of a tribute after his assassination. This photograph, one of the most enduring images of the 20th century, captured Gandhi with his emblem of peace and resistance, shaping his legacy as a saintly figure of non-violent protest to the world. Up next, a powerful photograph offers a haunting glimpse into the heart of the Great Depression. Number 11. A Mother's Strength. Dorothea Lange's iconic portrait, captured in Nipomo, California, during the Great Depression, speaks volumes about resilience and hardship. The image of Florence Owens Thompson and her children nestled close reveals a profound motherly concern that transcends time. Lange, working for the U.S. government's Farm Security Administration, aimed to shed light on the struggles of farmers, many of whom, like Thompson, were ravaged by failed crops. This photograph encapsulates the raw emotion of a family caught in an unforgiving moment. It has since become a symbol of the migrant farm workers' suffering and determination. Lange's work endures as part of the American art and photography canon, resonating with viewers worldwide. A print of this powerful piece is displayed in New York City's Museum of Modern Art, forever memorializing the strength and vulnerability of those who lived through the Depression. Now, in 1965, a groundbreaking photo essay exposed the hidden world of life before birth, sparking both awe and controversy. Number 10. The Drama of Life. When Life magazine unveiled Lennart Nilsson's photo essay, Drama of Life Before Birth, in 1965, the world was captivated. For the first time, humanity saw the unseen, a developing fetus floating in a sterile room, illuminated with the soft glow of purpose-built lights. Nilsson's powerful images challenged perceptions and sparked intense debates about the origins of life. Each photograph was taken from fetuses removed for medical reasons and photographed in meticulous detail to show stages of development that were previously invisible to the public eye. The essay quickly sold out, revealing an intimate glimpse of life's fragile beginnings. Though Nilsson's work was later co-opted for political purposes, his extraordinary images continue to resonate, preserving a window into the earliest stages of human existence that still stirs reflection decades later. Now, what if a single photograph could forever change the way the world saw the Vietnam War? Number 9. The Saigon Execution. This powerful image, captured by photographer Eddie Adams on February 1, 1968, remains one of the most haunting photographs of the Vietnam War. It shows South Vietnamese General Nguyen Ngoc Loan executing suspected Viet Cong officer Nguyen Van Lem on a Saigon street. The violence chillingly stark against the backdrop of a city caught in the chaos of the Tet Offensive. Published on the front pages of major newspapers, including the New York Times, it shocked the world and sparked intense moral questioning about the war. Adams's photograph, which would later win a Pulitzer Prize, not only captured a moment of brutal finality, but also forced Americans to confront the complexities of the conflict. Over 50 years later, the image still holds the power to unsettle, a stark reminder of the human cost and the unsettling decisions made during one of the most divisive wars in modern history. Prepare to witness a moment of death and raw emotion captured through the lens of one of history's most renowned photographers. Number 8. The Falling Soldier. Robert Capa's iconic photograph of a soldier's death during the Spanish Civil War is more than just a moment frozen in time. It is a powerful testament to the horrors of war, captured with remarkable intimacy. Co-founding Magnum Photos with Henri Cartier-Bresson, Capa's unique approach brought a raw, personal perspective to war photography. The falling soldier, taken in the trenches with his camera raised high, foreshadowed later pivotal images like Eddie Adams's Saigon Execution, both immortalizing death in an unforgettable way. This image, with its stark energy and emotion, echoes the intensity of Francisco Goya's The 3rd of May, 1808, blending art and history. In 1938, Picture Post hailed Capa as the greatest war photographer in the world, a title earned by his fearless commitment to capturing the human cost of conflict. His lens, an unflinching witness, forever changed how the world sees war. Amid the chaos of D-Day, one photographer's lens captured the raw, unfiltered reality of war and a soldier's fight to survive. Number 7. The D-Day. In the chaos of D-Day, Robert Capa stood in the surf, capturing the brutal truth of war through his lens. He was the only photographer to wade into the heart of the Omaha beach assault, where 34,250 American troops faced unspeakable danger. Among the men was Private First Class Houston Riley, who, after being hit by enemy fire, fought to survive in the deadly waters. Capa's iconic photograph shows Riley, drenched and struggling, embodying the harsh reality of war. With bullets whizzing past, Capa remained under fire, photographing soldiers and risking his life. Despite much of his film being ruined, the few surviving images, grainy and raw, have become a lasting symbol of the courage and sacrifice of those who fought on that fateful day. In those blurry, fleeting moments, Capa captured the essence of D-Day, a fight for survival and a fight for civilization itself. Next is a single photograph that would forever change the way we see art and society. Number 6. The Steerage. Alfred Stieglitz's The Steerage isn't just a photograph, it's a moment of evolution. Taken during Stieglitz's journey from America to Europe, this powerful image captures the stark divide between classes, offering a rare glimpse into the lives of lower-class passengers below deck. With its geometric composition and raw emotion, the steerage broke boundaries, showcasing photography as more than a mere snapshot. It was a form of art. Stieglitz described it as a spontaneous discovery, and it became a pivotal moment in his career, symbolizing the beginning of modernist photography. Published in camera work alongside a Picasso drawing, this piece marked a turning point, influencing future generations of photographers like Henri Cartier-Bresson. What deeper story of sacrifice and unity does the next iconic photo of the flag raising tell? Number 5. Iwo Jima flag raising. Joe Rosenthal's iconic 1945 photo of U.S. Marines raising the flag on Iwo Jima captured more than a moment in time. It captured the spirit of a nation at war. Instantly recognizable, it became a symbol of hope, sacrifice, and unity during the darkest days of World War II. Rosenthal's Pulitzer Prize-winning image went far beyond newsprint, becoming a national emblem, gracing posters, stamps, and even currency. The photograph's power lies in its ability to evoke both pride and emotion, even as controversy surrounds its authenticity. While the image was taken during the second flag raising, its significance was undeniable. inspiring millions and immortalized in the United States Marine Corps War Memorial. Today, it stands as a tribute to the courage of those who fought, reminding us of the sacrifices made and the unity forged in the face of unimaginable hardship. Check out this powerful photograph that brought the hidden struggles of the AIDS epidemic into the spotlight. Number 4. The face of AIDS. David Kirby's deathbed image, captured by Therese Frere in 1990, changed how the world viewed AIDS. Surrounded by his family, the 32-year-old man's passing was not just a heartbreaking moment, but a powerful reminder of the human toll of the epidemic. At the time, AIDS was still largely misunderstood and invisible, its victims suffering in silence. Frere's photo, published in Life, brought this suffering into the public eye, sparking conversations and action. A year before the red ribbon would symbolize hope, and 3 years before federal action, Frere's image became a symbol of the fight for recognition. When clothing brand Benetton used the photo in an ad campaign, it faced fierce backlash, but Kirby's family supported it, believing that raising awareness was critical to pushing for change. "It was time people saw the truth about AIDS," said his mother. And thanks to Frere's lens, they did. What happens when one of the greatest minds in history throws caution to the wind? The next photo tells. Number 3. The playful genius. A portrait that captures more than just a face. It's a moment of pure spontaneity. On his 72nd birthday in 1951, Albert Einstein, famed for unraveling the mysteries of the universe, turned the lens back on the world with an impish grin. Goaded to smile for a photographer, he playfully stuck out his tongue, forever immortalizing the light-hearted side of a man often seen as the epitome of seriousness. Arthur Sassie's iconic shot, taken as Einstein celebrated at the Princeton Club, softened the scientist's public image. Rather than the stern physicist, it revealed a playful genius, embracing life with a wink. Einstein was so taken with the photo that he ordered 9 copies. Decades later, a signed version would fetch $72,300 at auction, cementing its place as the most expensive Einstein photograph ever sold. One photographer's daring journey to capture a hidden crisis sparked a global response. His images forced the world to act. Will you look away, or will you heed the call? Number 2. Somalia famine. In 1992, as famine ravaged Somalia, James Nachtwey faced rejection when seeking an assignment to capture the crisis. With Mogadishu engulfed in conflict and aid falling short, he went alone, supported by the Red Cross. The images he brought back, one of a woman being wheeled to a feeding center, shocked the world. Featured on the cover of the New York Times Magazine, the haunting photo captured the depth of human suffering. A reader's words echoed across the globe. Dare we say that it doesn't get any worse than this? The impact was immediate. Public outcry led to the Red Cross launching its largest operation since World War II, saving 1.5 million lives. Jean-Daniel Toes of the ICRC credited Nachtwey's photos as the catalyst. Through his lens, a silent tragedy was heard, compelling the world to act when it otherwise might have turned away. Number 1. Soweto Rebellion. June 16, 1976, became a turning point in the fight against apartheid when Hector Peterson, a 13-year-old student, was tragically shot during a student protest in Soweto. As tensions escalated and the police responded with gunfire, photographer Sam Nzima captured a heart-wrenching moment. Peterson, lifeless in Buyisa Makubu's arms, as his sister, Antoinette Sithole, ran beside them. Nzima's photo, taken in the heat of chaos, ignited global outrage. The image of a young boy killed for protesting a racist system shocked the world and turned the spotlight on apartheid's brutal reality. Despite threats against him, Nzima's courage helped fuel international resistance, making it impossible for the world to ignore the injustice. That single photo changed everything, showing how a picture can not only capture a moment, but also shift the course of history. Which of these photos touched you the most? Let us know your opinion in the comments below.